Hello everyone and welcome back guys to episode 4 of the F1 2018 Williams Career Mode Season 2 for the, well, not even the European Grand Prix nowadays, is it? It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here in Baku. And if you did miss out on the last one, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. It was sort of a bit of a turning point for Season 2 of this series, but I'll try and reveal no more spoilers than that. As you can just see, though, having a look at the R&D, we do really want to try and get another couple of upgrades on the car by the end of this weekend. You can see the redesigned brake ducts. That upgrade should be coming through very soon, and we also want to try and go for another major upgrade on the car by the end of this race weekend. You can see from free practice, though, able to claim quite a few R&D points on the whole. As you can see, about just over 100, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of that session there. Remember, obviously, we will have the bonus coming through at the end of this weekend as well from the Chinese Grand Prix, where obviously we were able to achieve the team goal as well, which is obviously really ideal for ourselves. But let's move on then into qualifying C, coming through towards the end of my first run here. It's been an okay lap, quite a few fairly sort of clear-cut mistakes towards the end of the run, but out of the final corner down towards the start-finish line, it's going to be P5 at that stage of the session there between Van Dorn and Hulkenberg. But obviously by the end of the session, as you'd expect, we drop miles down the order there, actually dink the front wing as we come now down in towards the final sector of this lap. Is going to be very tight if we're going to be able to improve here. Currently sat down in P19, but we do get a very good run out of sort of the last proper corner here through the fast chicane, drop a little bit of time there as we try and go for a much sort of wider run, obviously with that front wing damage there. But down towards the line, obviously just really long run here. You just sort of anticipate what time you're going to be able to achieve just about run of ERS as we come over the line there. But fortunately, it's going to be P15 at that stage of the session there. But sadly, Magnussen, not Magnussen, someone else would jump us almost straight away there, which was really frustrating. So we'd miss out on Q2 by 0.3 of a second there. Rixon actually done a very good job there, just ahead of my teammate Lance Stroll there in P17. 0.03 of a second between you, see, just clear of Stoffel Van Dorn. And well, the Toro Rossos, we've said it before and we'll say it again this series, they have just well and truly dropped off the pace in Season 2. It'll be interesting to see if they can march any sort of comeback as we move in towards the later seasons. Well, even towards the later half of this season here. But right now, they are by far the worst team. But let's move on then into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Last season, it would be Lewis Hamilton that would actually take home the race victory from actually pole position there. He won that race by 16 seconds over Sebastian Vettel. But he has won all 3 of the opening rounds of this F1 2018 Season 2, which obviously means, well, in the past, there has been no driver ever that has won the opening 3 rounds and then not gone on to win a Formula 1 World Championship, and I'm sure he'd be looking to try and make it 4 today. He came through for P2 in last year's Grand Prix, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, Perez, Van Dorn, Raikkonen there in a very poor 8th place, ahead of Ericsson, and Kevin Magnussen run round out the top 10. It would be a tough Grand Prix for us as we'd actually crash out with just a couple of laps to go, obviously, in those hectic changing conditions, which I can guarantee we won't be seeing once again in this time's Grand Prix. Brendan Hartley, Verstappen, Alonso and Gasly would all just miss out on the points, but it would actually be Ricciardo and Sergio Perez, as well as actually Max Verstappen, who would pick up quite a few penalty points in that Grand Prix. At this stage, though, well, Vettel has a 30-point lead after just 3 rounds of this Season 2, which is obviously absolutely dominant there. Ferrari have double the points of any other team as well, which is obviously absolutely phenomenal. They really couldn't have asked for much more of a better start to the season. And well, once again, Sebastian will be on pole moving into round 4 of this season. Obviously, looking to make it 4 from 4, what an absolutely phenomenal result that would be for the 5-time world champion, though. In terms of the grid, as I said, it would be Sebastian Vettel on pole for round 4 of the season, ahead of Kimi Raikkonen and his teammate in P2. Ferrari with a front row lockout there, absolutely fantastic for them. Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez, that Force India still showing its fantastic 1-lap pace with Bottas and Ocon there, with the Red Bulls rounding out row 4, Hulkenberg and Charles Leclerc rounding out the top 10, with Alonso and Carlos Sainz, the 2 Spaniards side by side, the 2 Haas on row 7, with Ericsson and myself, Stroll and Van Dorn, and then the 2 Toro Rossos rounding out at the rear of the field here. Gonna hopefully be quite an exciting European Grand Prix. Plenty of chances for overtaking, but let's move into the race.
Points finished last race. Let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So the team really want me to try and, well, ideally score another points finish in this Grand Prix. We're going to try and go for basically 4 laps of extra fuel here in this race. But here we are then, ready on the grid, ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and we appear to be stuck in our car at the moment. This is a minor glitch I've had a couple of times. Unfortunately, I had to pause and then, well, pause again and just pray that at some point it decides to work again. There we go. We're now ready on the grid for the European Grand Prix here in Azerbaijan. It is 5 lights on the grid, and it's a lights out, and away we go. Actually off to a originally quite a poor start, but we do overall get off to an okay start in the end. We're going to be on the inside, in towards turn 1, down the inside of one of the Haas cars, as well as Rixon there on the outside gets hang out to drive. Yeah, we will now move up into P15, up into P14, as well as potentially a move on the second Haas car there. Again, unfortunately, a bit of a double lockup actually through both of the first couple of corners, but we will move past the Haas of Kevin Magnussen as well. There are a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, actually. That could have been very, very deadly at the start of this race. Magnussen's going to try and hook it right up around the outside, but we're not going to give him the room on the outside there, and he should hopefully slot back in. No, he does keep the nose up the inside. They're still side by side as we come through in towards Sector 2 here. Are we going to be able to hold it now? He just about creates the room on the outside for himself there. A little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact does actually force me out wide into his path, but we will now move up into P13 of this European Grand Prix here. But by the end of lap 1 though, you can see we're trying to just sort of stay in touch with Carlos Sainz at the moment here, but this was going to be a really, really tough Grand Prix for ourselves in this Williams car. You know, it's just not a track that I particularly find that I'm very strong at, and also one that this Williams car obviously really struggles at as well here. But we had Kevin Magnussen all over the back of me as we come to the end of lap 1, but fortunately for me, every time he'd pull out the slipstream, you could just see there, he just wouldn't have the legs in that Haas car that's so clearly running a whole lot more aero than us in the Williams car here, which is obviously really, really good for us. Means that, well, unless he can get a bit of a slingshot move on myself, he's going to really, really struggle to try and pass me and make a bit of a mistake through turn 2. Is going to potentially give him the run on the outside here. We're still going to try and play fairly defensive, but we do slot in just in front of him once more here. But he is going to try and have a look up the inside. He goes for a bit of a switchback move. Holds it on the inside there, and we're going to try and hold it right around the outside. Yes, we do. And we will still hold on to P13 of this race. On lap 2 of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix here, so the fastest, obviously, first sector of the race. As it is only lap 2, towards the end of lap 2, as I said, and while Magnussen was hopefully going to try and wind it up once again to try and go for a move here. He's going to have a bit of a better run this time around, but just once again, look, he just pulls out the slipstream and just cannot get past me here. What's he going to be able to try and do as we break in towards turn 1 here? He's actually dropping back once again. They're obviously trying to save a little bit of ERS here. DRS, though, has now been enabled as well. We will hold on for now here as we come through in towards turn 2. They're actually running a little bit wide there. Oh, we do dink the wall on the exit of the corner. That's going to give Magnussen a much, much better run than myself as we come down this back straight here. Oh, are we going to be able to hold on? No, we're not. He's going to be on the inside quite clearly there. We're going to try and brake match him on the brakes there. Unfortunately, lose that back end though as we come through the corner, get collected by one of the McLarens there. Fortunately, with the way Van Dorn hit me there, it's actually going to mean that we don't lose our front wing on the wall there. But yeah, that was really, really unfortunate for Stoffel Van Dorn there. Unfortunately, yeah, just wrong place, wrong time for him. But we now drop to P19 of the Grand Prix. But just look how much we're having to fight the rear end of the car here. It seems that the tyres now, obviously after that one, have really, really started to overheat here. And this is always a massive issue in this career mode. This, honestly, I would go as far to say is unrealistic on the whole on this game. As you can see, by the end of lap 4, and we were dropping back to the rest of the field here, but the tyres just don't cool down. This is something that Cody's really, really need to sort out on this game. Now, I know, obviously, heat management in Formula 1 is quite difficult anyway, but it is absolutely impossible to try and manage the car if the tyres overheat, because basically what you find is you try to slow down, lose out tons of pace, try and get on the power on the exit of the corner, the back end kicks out, and you build up all that heat again that you just tried to get rid of coming through the couple of corners beforehand here. So honestly, I would say, yeah, it is almost a bug, and it does really, really need to be fixed by Cody's. You know, it's been an issue I've had a couple of times over the last couple of seasons. You know, I think Mexico and Bahrain last season were obviously two really, really good examples of that, but it's just impossible to do anything against her. As we come on to lap 6 now, you can see Ocon, who's already made a pit stop in this race, is all over the back of me here, and just look at how much I'm just trying to fight the back end as we come up through the castle section here. Are we going to be able to hold it? Yes, we do, just about there as we come out in towards this final sector of the lap. Just look how much we're having to try and correct on the steering wheel. Ocon is going to be able to fly past me here through the next corner, and well, there was just nothing I was going to be able to do there. Well, as we'll have a look on the replay as to what happened there, but it just appeared to me, you can see coming through this corner, they're fighting the back end as much as we possibly can to keep it pointing in the right direction. Ocon will slot past me there. We just get back into the dirty air there, and well, the car just completely over-rotates on me there. You know, we got very unlucky with the fact that it was over the crest in the dirty air suddenly, and obviously with the tyres the way they were. But that, for the second season in a row, is us out of the European Grand Prix, and that was really, really frustrating. There, just as I said, nothing we can do when the tyres overheat like that, and it's a really, really big problem that I personally have on this game, but obviously the AI just don't seem to have that issue in the end, which is, it's just infuriating on the whole, and as I said, it's something that coders really, really do need to fix there. But yeah, unfortunate heartbreak at the end of the European Grand Prix.
So, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
So Sebastian Vettel would actually make it 4 from 4 here in the first 4 rounds of this F1 2018 season. 100 points in the bag there. Absolutely fantastic job by him, ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen. So we have Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull Force India there with the Renault and the Haas rounding out the top 10 there. Very good job by Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon there. Although the car performance doesn't actually indicate that they are as good as they are. You know, that Force India is quite a strong package in this season so far. Good job as well by Sainz and Magnussen to round out the points there. With Grosjean, Charles Leclerc doing a good job in Sauber there. Really just going to show how much pace that car has at this stage of the season, and how much Renault's pace has really sort of slacked off, with Hulkenberg down in P13 there. Ericsson 14th, my teammate Lance Stroll in P15, with the Toro Rosso 16th and 17th. Van Dorn in 18th, way off the pace there in the end, with Van Dorn and myself both retiring from that Grand Prix. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Seb now a 37-point lead at the top, 40 clear of his teammate Raikkonen there, 44 clear of Ricciardo, and Sergio Perez is still up in P5 there. Verstappen and Bottas would jump quite a few of the cars that they really obviously should have after a tough couple of rounds in the season. They both jump. Romain Grosjean, Charles Leclerc and Stoffel Van Dorn. Ocon moves past Alonso, myself, Hulkenberg and K-Mag, with Sainz jumping Ericsson and Pierre Gasly, my teammate, and Brendan Hartley all left to score. No changes in the constructors' standings, but Ferrari now have a 79-point lead over Mercedes, still near enough double after the opening 4 rounds of the championship. But yeah, that was not the Grand Prix I had in mind. Really, really unfortunate, and it really at times just really, it makes it tough to continue playing this game at times. When you get things like that, you're trying to push this car to the absolute limit to try and get anything out of it, and you just end up with, yeah, as I said, I'm going to call it a bug. In all honesty, that means we're now losing both of our driver rivalries once again. We are going to be able to claim quite a few R&D points, though, nonetheless. As I said, going into this round, we will have the 400-point bonus, which is pretty much just going to carry that weekend on the whole after all the negativity. To be up to 1,500 R&D points is certainly very, very ideal. It means we are going to be able to get 1 aero upgrade on the car, as well as obviously we're going to have a new contract renegotiation as well here, which I'll sort of just let run in the background whilst we sort of talk towards the end of this video there. Going to make my targets fairly low. Once again, we're going to go for the easy team goal as well, you know, just so we can actually get the team goals on the whole. We're going to go with the 75% bonus again, level 2 for the upgrade speed, level 1 for the simultaneous developments there, and a 20% quicker pit stop. And are we going to be able to get that? Quite optimistic on the whole, but we will just be able to get that, which means we will carry that upgrade going in towards the next round. Unfortunately, it will come at Monaco rather than Spain, because obviously the contract doesn't start until the next Grand Prix. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you do like and subscribe if you're new around here as well. We've got less than 500 to go until 10,000 subscribers, but hopefully I will see you guys next time for a bit of a better result at Spain.